And a good Saturday morning, everyone, and we welcome you into the Pure Sports Center in San Bernardino, California for day 2 of 3 this weekend in our second NVA event of the regular season. I'm Ira Thor, joined alongside Nick England. Two teams that, well, I think have different identities right now. Felix Chapman and the Dallas Tornadoes are a team that can certainly do some damage this year. Felix, right now, the number 3 scorer in the NVA, and we talked about in our pregame show, could certainly take over matches by themselves. Meanwhile, the Inland we found the competitive edge yet.
Yeah, it's going to be definitely an interesting thing to see. Like I mentioned in the pregame show, the Matadors are going to be kind of using a variety of rosters here. They've got a ton of options. So there's some new faces out. We're going to see Jacob Vanderbeek, a.k.a. Thor, returning back from, Mr. Ira Thor's #1 fan. We're going to see, him returning from a season over in England while he was getting his master's degree. We're going to see a couple new faces. Nick Ramos, previously the Chicago Untouchables, out there. Dallas Tornadoes returning Steve Roshitz, #6. So there's going to be a couple new faces over there as well. We're going to see Angel Rivera returning, and of course the aforementioned Felix Chapman. So there's going to be some new faces out here on both these squads. This is really going to be kind of an unknown match with a lot of excitement to start us off, I think.
Taking a look at the lineups out there. First for the Dallas Tornadoes, Sean Smith, #1, will be on the floor in the center spot. Steve Roshitz will be one of the outside hitters. He makes his season debut, wearing #6. Angel Rivera will be one of the middles, 6'4". Out of Puerto Rico, he wears #8. Chike Oporum, the other middle, wearing #13. On the right side will be Peter Cannoli, 6'8", product of Orlando, Florida, wearing #14. And then the aforementioned Felix Chapman, 6'8" outside hitter, wearing #18. Keep a close eye on him. The libero for this one will be Sam Schellenberg. And he had a great performance in his season opener against the Kraken, where he passed at a 94% rate.
That is an absolutely absurd clip. Definitely excited. I mean, we talked about the importance of, we always talk about the importance of the middle. Excited to see Brett Massetti as well as Martin Patrice on the side of the Matadors. Jordan Wally making his return, as well as Nick Ramos, as mentioned. There are 3 different libero options on the Matador side. Only 2 can be put in yellow. So we'll see Danel Calvente fielding that here to start. The biggest question, as we mentioned this morning, was the setter position over there. They've got a variety of setters rostered. I believe one, unfortunately, contracted COVID and would be unable to be competing. That's going to leave us with Nick DiMatteo as the option here. We're also going to see Eric Beatty from Stanford University, #20, making his NVA debut here. So excited to see what he can get done as well.
For the Matadors, keep an eye on Martin Patrice. He was the top offensive weapon for the Matadors in their 2 losses on the year. In the season opener against Southern Exposure, a 4-set loss. He had 12 kills and only got blocked once. Now, although the Matadors fell 3-1, and then the final match of our first weekend of action was against the Las Vegas Ramblers, and the Matadors were not very competitive in that one, losing 25-17, 18, and 19. However, Patrice did finish with 7 kills to lead the Matadors that day. The teams are almost set to be underway as the ball will go over to the Matadors. They will serve first, and it'll be Nick DiMatteo getting us underway, product of El Camino College here in California. All right, so getting us underway here is Nick DiMatteo for the Matadors. Beautiful morning here, and we started off with thunder from Peter Canole.
Peter Canole, welcome to the NVA. Big swing, thunderous smack to get that one started. Nice set there from Sean Smith. Dallas Tornadoes is underway.
I originally, and I apologize to Peter's, pronounced it Canole. Listen, 9 o'clock in the morning. Didn't really have any breakfast. I'm a bit hungry right now. So I misfired on that one, thinking with my stomach and not my mind. Sean Smith will serve away here. Cal Baptist University product. And Massetti gets his first swing of the day. And has put away from the back post as Roshitz gets involved. Obviously, that's a big addition to the lineup, having Roshitz back out there for the Tornadoes. However, in his absence, they were able to get some good work from Nick Zarowski, who had 12 kills in their win against the Kraken. And this would be a violation from going underneath the Tornadoes.
Worth noting, Zarowski does not appear to have made the trip this weekend, if I'm not mistaken. So that's going to be Felix Chapman actually returning to the right side instead of outside where he played Event 1. One of those guys that can really play both sides of the ball on the left and the right. So Roshitz and Canole, and if I'm not mistaken, I think those two are actually beach partners. I might be wrong on that, but I think Roshitz and Canole play together on the beach in the AVP tours. So that'll be interesting to see kind of what team dynamic they have between both of them.
Well, you certainly know they know how to communicate, which has been one of the most important fabrics of team success here. Massetti had to work with a set that was a little bit low, swinging away too wide for Roshitz.
Brett Massetti, they're obviously trying to get him involved early. A couple low sets and kind of missed locations by DiMatteo, but he's very clearly wanting to establish the middle early. No surprise why.
Massetti out of Beaumont, California. Father of 4. And that is hit cross court for the winner for Roshitz.
BD not sure about that call right there. Definitely motioning for a challenge, but this is kind of that interesting concept we talked about yesterday. A little early to challenge, probably not worth it.
Of course, if you do win a challenge like that, you would keep it, so that's something to always keep in mind. Nearly a carry there by the Matadors needs to be floated over. Chance for them to take advantage. They go right side and towing the block and forcing the blocking error. Here's the Matadors' Jordan Wally.
Wally, another one of those guys we talk about kind of doing it all. Played outside previously for the Matadors. Now that they've got Nick Ramos and Beatty out there, he's moved to the right side. So one of those guys that you can't not have on the court for the Matadors. So wherever it takes to get all the guys that they want out there, he's making that appearance now.
Here's Wally to serve. Roshitz again, that is dug up.
And then reach out and stuff someone early in the morning. Chapman helping to close it out, teaming up with Rivera.
That was a heck of a block. Shout out to Sam Schuldenberg, number 12, the libero in purple. He had a heck of an NVA debut for the Dallas Tornadoes and was definitely a welcome addition to their passing line. So excited to see what he can get done here today as well.
Wally to swing away. And another big-time dig by Schuldenberg. And this one won't come back. Another kill for Chapman. Sam Schoenberg, you mentioned his name, Dallas, Texas native, but played his collegiate volleyball at Loyola University in Chicago. Quickly, the Ramblers have emerged as a Division I power in the sport. Them and Lewis. That's an ace, whipping it out.
Felix Chapman not wasting any time getting involved here. No surprise there, but always love to see the man from Des Moines, Iowa, getting it done early.
Now Chapman, he's certainly scored some points behind the service line. That's his 5th ace of the season. Left that one short. And side out to the Matadors, who hanging around 7-4 early for the Tornadoes. Hand it to Eric Beatty. 6'7" outside, played at Stanford University. Stanford, which originally was going to discontinue men's volleyball and then wisely changed course. Now he's sent over and the free ball, Dallas puts it down for the kill. Smart play by Rivera.
Love to see the on-net aggression from Rivera coming off a season as the MVP in the Puerto Rican League. Only played one event last year with Tornadoes at event number 2 in Atlantic City. He's been a big part of their offensive efforts.
Roshitz with the serve. Matadors having a hold up there for a moment was Ramos, and that's why he got rejected. Chance for Dallas, and Chapman. Not enough fire that time. This will snake through for the kill for Wally.
Jordan Wally getting the job done there on the right side. Good job so far from the cover of the side of the Matadors. They're going to have to keep that up because the Dallas Tornadoes block is not letting the ball through easily right now.
Jordan Wally played his collegiate volleyball at Lincoln Memorial University. Certainly somebody that the Matadors are going to count on. That is a little too long by Roshitz.
Roshitz just barely missing that one. I like the middle attack or the middle routes early from the pipe row. Looks good. Martine Patrice serving.
And there'll be 4 touches there for the Matadors. Miscommunication, and quite frankly, the Tornadoes lucky that they were even able to get that one over as a little bit of a paintbrush swing on a very early approach in the middle. See if Angel Rivera is able to clean this up now. His team hasn't played entirely sharp so far, Nick, but they are leading 9-6.
There it is. Ramos able to take advantage of the shorter blocker there with Steve Smith. Yeah, I agree with you. Both these teams, like we said, very excited about the new pieces they're bringing in. But on the other side of that excitement is the reality that there is still a lot of on-court meshing that must take place, and it's got to happen fast.
Here's Nick DiMatteo to serve. Sean Smith able to keep that one alive, and an attack by Dallas. Chance for the Matadors, and that one will almost end up in the upper level of this facility. Put away by Beatty.
That was number 8, Jordan Wally, I believe, actually on the right side. Getting it done. Once again,
you are right. It is
drawing blood for the 3rd time this set. Early getting involved.
Well, Matadors within 2. A useful roll shot there by Canola as he lands another.
We talk about a guy that's got a beach background. See, the court vision and roll shots are just absolutely cemented in so many beach players' games. So you see the agility and the ability to have just a variety of shots. So expect to see more of that coming out of Canola as well as Roshitz.
And it's not just the variety, it's also how they disguise it. And
yeah,
you didn't see that at all until the very last minute. No chance for the Matador defense to be able to react in time.
Roshitz, someone we've seen also swing ambidextrously. So last year he had some shoulder issues. He was swinging left-handed at a variety of times. So don't be surprised if that comes out as well.
Chapman tooling the block. Gets another kill. For Chapman, in his first 2 matches of the year, 17 and 18 kills respectively. And for the Tornadoes to win, he certainly needs to be somewhere in double figures. Smith with the dig. Push it to the right side to Chapman. Tried a beach roll there, didn't work. And a deep poke covered by the Tornadoes. Oh, in the middle, swinging away. The Tornadoes can't get it to go down as Oporum. And then Chapman, a rare miss. goes wide. Perm looked like he was planning that to the floor, but the Matadors were waiting for it, and saw Calvente get involved.
Well, that's the kind of scrap we want to see from the Matadors. That was kind of our challenge. How quickly can they shore it up? And that wasn't pretty by any means, but man, did they have to work for it. They earned that point.
Massetti, your server. Big dig there from Ramos. As it comes back to the Matadors, they push it back to the outside to Beatty. Chapman, I think he left it short, and that is what's called. And that's back-to-back errors on attempts here for Felix Chapman. Maybe he's not a morning person.
Di Matteo's got to get that connection to the outside shored up. They're getting some very good free ball opportunities here, and he's really making Beatty work for it, I think. And Beatty's doing a good job keeping tips alive. But ideally, he's more in system with how easy some of those balls coming over are.
Not a good first pass by Dallas. They try to get it back. Hiroporum blocked back. Third chance for the Tornadoes. And Roshitz gets it to go.
Well, the Matadors have answered the call quite well, considering they were down by 3 points, now down by just 1. Doing a nice job, starting to get some more rallies, but the Dallas Tornado block is still proving to be quite menacing for the Matadors offense.
That was poked to a useful spot by Martin Patrice. And a side out for the Matadors. We're even at 12. And here's Jordan Wally out of Ucapa, California. For Lincoln Memorial, he played at San Diego City College. That's long.
Wally was, we mentioned Vanderbeek as someone that played right side in England. There was a group of guys, Spencer Andrews on the Ramblers, Ryan Schickling on the Ramblers, Jordan Wally now on the Matadors, that were all playing at the same time over there. So that's been a program even prior to Vanderbeek that many American players take advantage of.
Felix Chapman chalks up his second ace of the day, his 6th of the season. Again, when he's on, very difficult player to contain, and can hurt you not just at the net, but behind the service line consistently. Let's watch the power on that toss. This is long though. But I'm good with that. If I'm Felix and I'm missing aggressively long,
Yep.
that's something that I could take.
Yes, I mean, especially because he's getting the aces, right? To hit that ace at this level, you've got to hit pressure. So like you said, if you're going to miss a jump serve, miss it long, between the sidelines, that's acceptable.
What we saw yesterday that was certainly in the Colorado-Seattle match, but we saw it throughout the day, was the unforced ones into the lower portion of the net, and that's got to get cleaned up.
You know, you talk about what's got to get cleaned up. Felix Chapman, that's his 3rd hitting error, though. You know, we can manage the service errors, but if I'm not mistaken, that's his 5th overall error, between 2 service errors, 3 hitting errors. So for a guy that does carry a lot of offensive load and responsibility, Chapman's got to start trying to find a way to mitigate that a bit.
Well, he's got 13 errors on the year, and certainly one of the areas they'd like to see him improve upon. In the match against the Kraken, he had 3 errors, but had a rough day. Even with the 18 kills against the Stingers, he had 7 attack errors. Of those 7, he got blocked 5 times. These are balls where he's not getting blocked, he's just missing.
Yeah.
If you're going to get blocked, you can live with it.
Give yourself a chance, though, right? Like you said.
That will snake its way through. Angel Rivera has been a little bit early on these attacks, having a problem connecting with Steve Smith. With Sean Smith, I should say. Here's Steven Roshitz. 15-15 competitive first set. This will be chased off the court. A bit of miscommunication for the Matadors. Swinging away. Oh, a diving dig there by Beatty. And the Tornadoes are into the net, and look at this. The Matadors have a 16-15 lead, and that will take us to our technical timeout in game number 1. Back for more here in California. And we're back here courtside. The Matadors leading the Tornadoes 16-15. Nick, what's your state of the game?
When I look at what's going on right now, I think that while both teams are challenging themselves, trying to kind of find a bit of flow of the game, my worry and concern is that while even though the Matadors lead by 1 point, right now I think that their lead is on the back of a lot of unforced errors from the Tornadoes. They've got about 4 or 5 hitting errors, 3 or 4 service errors, and so that right there is a worrying trend because I'm not sure that Matadors is proving that they're going to be able to score the real points if and when the Tornadoes start to shore those errors up. So that's got to be something that's kind of looming in their mind. They've got to start playing better ball. And miss-serve shorts like that out of that timeout, it's not going to work. They've got to do more. Martin Patrice, someone that normally is a very good server, he loves that short ball to take the front row outside out of rotation. But, you know, what you do habitually doesn't matter when you can't execute in the moment.
Substitution entering the match and serving for Rivera will be Javier Guerrero. He's a 6'2" outside out of Austin, Texas. And I happen to agree with you. I mean, obviously, you know, especially with younger players at the non-professional level, at the club level, you always preach, you know, if anything, let the other team make the mistake. Don't be the team to make that mistake. But at this level, especially against the better teams, the Tyrants, the Ramblers, you know, the Stunners, that level of a team, they're not going to consistently give you points.
Right.
You don't find a way to manufacture points on your own,
Yep.
You're in for a long season. And I also, you know, I don't think the Tornadoes are in that upper echelon, but they're a playoff caliber club for sure.
Sure.
As Perm demonstrates why, blasting that one through.
Love to see Chico Purim continue to get involved offensively. We always talk about that he does very well moving side to side to get the blocks, but, you know, it's always kind of some up and down involvement, how much he gets produced offensively. So good kill from him early.
Well, disguised by Wally, but a pancake for Smith, and this will be sent over. Right side, swinging away with authority, Nick Ramos.
That's a great rip down the line from number 1, making his debut here today in the maroon and yellow.
Caught Sam Schellenberg, the libero, on the left shoulder as he whipped that one down the line. That was too long.
Back-to-back service errors.
So they'll hand it here to Cano, 6'8", out of Orlando, Florida. Flips the net. Go back here to Woolley. But Chapman was ready for it. Chapman swinging away, and that's now 4.
Looked like a massive net to me. I didn't see it get called, but regardless, there's another Felix Chapman hitting error. That's what I was talking about. But I do want to highlight on the side, you know, I am being critical, hopefully fairly so, of what's going on. But I do want to highlight on the side of the Matadors, I think Jordan Wally is doing a fantastic point of manufacturing those points. So someone to continue watching. But man, Matadors have got to get their serving game figured out.
They are handing Dallas 3 points back. Obviously, the Chapman errors right now are a cause for concern. They'll bring in, as a serving replacement, Andres Quiones,
Owner of the team.
I guess when you own the team, you can do what you want. As that is put through for the Matadors for the side out. They lead 20-19. I guess when you're the owner of the team, you could also, you know, go back to the bench and make yourself comfortable too.
Yep, using those subs to get their middle blockers out of the rotation, defensively and inconsistent servers potentially. Nice serve by Wally.
Chapman tolling the block. Good chase down by Calvente, but ran out of real estate.
It's a good block touch for sure.
Chapman's got a pair of aces. This is where he's been strongest today because his attack game has been suspect. We'll see if he can clean that up. Tornadoes tied 20-20. They'll be lucky to win this first set at this rate, the way they have been handing points to the Matadors. Free ball opportunity and return fire by Roshitz.
Well, there you go. You wanted to see another offensive production from Chapman, and there it is, and that's going to warrant a timeout as a 1-point lead is established for the Tornadoes on the side of the Matadors.
Yeah, not an ace, but good enough right there because the free ball allowed Roshitz to swing away uncontested. And if you're the Matadors right now, you've got to get yourself a pass here. Cannot allow Dallas to score 2 straight. Really 3 straight because it was a 2019 lead.
Yeah, and when I look at both teams and their current production, Tornadoes feels like they're doing a good job of developing the system they want up until the moment of the swing. As someone that's played the game for a while, whenever my hitters, whenever that's the point of struggle in our game, that's when I'm least worried. As long as we're passing the ball, we're serving pretty well. I think they're blocking exceptionally well. The rest of it will follow suit. I think the hitting is usually the easiest part of the game to get going. It's hard to tell from where we're at if it's a connection thing that Smith's not finding his hitters the way they all want. I don't really know. So I'm just going to leave it at that's kind of the next uphill battle for the Tornadoes to fight here.
Another good serve here out of Dallas. And missing long. Asking for a touch, however, is Eric Beatty. And I think they're going to challenge it.
All right.
They are going to challenge whether there was a touch on the attack by Eric Beatty.
It's hard to tell. I always, whenever these challenges get called, I just immediately look at the player body language, start trying to read lips to see what insight I can immediately get. Couldn't tell if Smith was saying, yeah, I touched it, and it might have been a pretty big one, because that 3 of the Matadors players there turned very confidently. But it's hard to tell exactly, but this is one of those things with the challenge system that we have. I think we counted total like 1 or 2 from our first event that when I talk to players and I look at all the pictures that make a call, only 1 or 2 occurrences from the entire weekend were deemed basically not enough evidence to overturn and a player admitted otherwise. So we were getting upwards of like 95 to 98% efficiency with the system we were using. So it was very impressive as we got more acquainted with it. So excited to see what happens.
The replay monitor is on the Tornadoes side of the court, so they have a chance to see it live.
If this is overturned, this will become a 21-21 game. So
it's interesting to watch the chatter from the teams. You hear in the background Eric Beatty, who called for that challenge, saying thank you very much. So you would believe, based on what they've seen, this is going to go to the way of the Matadors.
And a touch is called. There's a lot of nods on the side of the Tornadoes, everyone well aware. Then that seems like the body language of Rivera and Smith knew right away when that challenge got called. So that's what you get when you get these high-level guys. They know what their swing should do. You can hear the touch. You can hear there's a variety of ways in the moment that there was a lot of confidence there. It seemed like that was probably going to go the way of the Matadors. So great challenge usage here, especially this late in the game. That's when you want to use them. That just tied the game up and ultimately saved them the set. Down 2 points this late in the game, that's a really troublesome spot to be in.
Yeah, now it's a new game, 21-21, and Eric Beatty, who gets to kill off that challenge, he'll serve away the Stanford product. Go to Roshitz, big approach, and he bombs it down the line.
Such an aggressive approach line there from number 6, getting the job done.
So a crucial side out here as Roshitz will serve. And wow, you never see this called. The Matadors, I should say, were in the
out of
lineup.
Rotation. Yeah.
Unreal.
What?
To make that mistake at this point.
Unforgivable.
Unforgivable. That's exactly what I was about to say. And that makes it 23-21. as Roshitz serves again. Flips the tape. And Ramos gets one of those points back as he slugs it down the line.
I didn't see who it was. That was out of rotation.
That was caught by our R2 in this match. That's Stephen Shepard. Ty Boyd is our chair official. Scott Thompson's on the lines on the Matadors side of the court. Rena Smith on the Dallas side. As that is planted. Big kill by Canole at 6'8", so imposing. And he gives his squad 2 set points at 24-22. So here's Angel Rivera to serve. Try to take this first set. He's taking his time, making sure he gets this one right. And he gets the ace to end it.
Wow, Angel Rivera coming in clutch.
Wow,
Man.
we talked about taking your time to get it right. He got it very right. As the Tornadoes prevailed 25-22, they got a little bit of pressure late, but they get the W, and they lead 1-0. Back for game number 2 in San Bernardino in just a bit. Back here at the Pierce Sports Center in San Bernardino, he's Nick England, I'm Ira Thor, and the Dallas Tornadoes had themselves a fortunate 1-0 lead as they hung around and allowed the Matadors to make some mistakes, handing them that first set.
Well, and that's why I mentioned, the importance of needing to score points there. But when I'm looking at it right now, it looks like the Dallas Tornadoes made 12 errors total. And they were still able to win that match. So they gave half the point, more than half the points the Matadors scored over in their own errors. that number can easily be cut in half this set, and then the Matadors are really going to be in a concerning spot. So we've got to see that cleaned up. Also, the team is passing at a 53% clip on the Matadors. We want to see that improved up to upwards of about a 68 to 70%. That's going to allow for them to be running their middle consistently. And so there's just got to be more proactivity on the passing.
Only 3 players in the Matadors have even had a swing so far. The bulk of it has been to Jordan Wally with 9 swings, but Eric Beatty and Nick Ramos each with 5 attempts each. They've been the most active players. They've been the most active players so far. Need to be more involved here. Martin Patrice, just 3 attempts, and as good as he is and how productive he's been so far, Nick, that's unforgivable. They have to find a way to get Patrice more involved.
They certainly do. We'll see if they're able to do it here. Beatty with a good pass once again.
So we are underway game 2 for Felix Chapman, just 3 kills so far. What a run down there defensively for the Matadors by Calvente.
Di Matteo tries swinging. No luck there.
So the Tornadoes, here's Sean Smith to serve. And stuffed down at the net, waiting for that one, was Knoll.
Knoll's seen that all too many times on the beach, on 2. Maybe someone getting ready to get cheeky with it. More than ready to shut that down early. Nick Ramos has been struggling thus far with his reception line. He's got to just pop that ball to the 10-foot line. Get yourselves a chance to see a swing.
Now Nick England, that's the title of his new hit song, getting cheeky with it. And stuffed at the net. Perham leads that one with Cannoli. Back-to-back blocks for the Tornadoes.
Right back to what we saw starting set 1. The Dallas Tornadoes block is really impenetrable for the Matadors offense. See if they're able to continue that, but it's a great way to establish a team identity here in the second.
3-0 Tornadoes on top. From the back row, Thor leaves it short as Jacob Vanderbeek is now out on the floor. Here's Smith. Over on 2, sneaky is Nick DiMatteo.
A couple new faces to highlight really quick on the side of the Matadors. They've decided to bring in the middle, Ben Gabor, who's out of Trinity Christian College. Teammates Jake Ostema, who will be making his Chicago Untouchables debut today. So 2 new guys to the league. And then Jacob Vanderbeek, a.k.a. Thor, has made his appearance here. So 2 new faces. Other than that, the rest of the guys will stay the same. I'm a little questioning, though, I've got to be honest, as much as I like Jacob Vanderbeek on the court. Jordan Wally was one of the only guys producing offensively, so I think removing him from the system here is really a questionable decision. I'd be curious why that's what their option is.
I agree with you, Nick, there, especially how productive he has been as Cannoli leaves it short. Knoll leaves it short. I'm still hungry. And here's Nick Ramos. Go back to Perham, and back-to-back kills there, getting their middles involved. And Perham has the ability. We talked about Felix Chapman taking over matches. Perham, when he gets hot, is very difficult to contain.
It's interesting because he doesn't always get up as vertically as some of the other middles like Angel Rivera, even on the Tornadoes. So the way they utilize him is they do a lot of kind of like a 1.5 tempo, not quite a true 1 ball, but like a kind of a lobbed 1 or a push 1. And it gives him a little bit more time. He moves more laterally, and it spreads their offense out. But because people, if they're not paying attention, they're not being disciplined blockers, it can really open him up well, and it's benefiting them very well right now.
Smith is there for that roll. And there you see that beautiful beach set And it leads to a blast down the line, but wide. Oh, that was a missed opportunity by Roshitz.
We're going to see a serving sub early here.
Reserve Belize. 5'5" out of Ottawa University. That's an NAIA program in Kansas.
Eric's another one of the he's normally a libero as well. They can only have so many in that yellow jersey, so coming in as a serving sub.
And the joust comes back to the Matadors side. This will be deep free balled over. And the Tornadoes take advantage, and they do as Rivera puts it away. Rivera is now 4 for 4 on attacks today. Been perfect.
Interesting. I really like what we just saw. So we've been talking about Nick Ramos struggling in the serve receive line. And so what they're actually going to do is the libero can come in at any time for anybody on the back row. So they've opted to have the back row outside pulled now, and they're going to leave Eric Fox, number 12, in back row as the option here. So that's going to improve their service line. Beatty's been passing a perfect clip at 100 on 7 attempts. So this should really help to improve their passing. We'll see if it works.
Coaching move.
Yeah, I like it.
And that is freed over, and Sean Smith makes them pay.
Matadors needs to stop getting cheeky with it and trying to do too much. Just set your hitters. Don't worry about a back set there. Go to Jacob Vanderbeek. Let him do his thing.
They find themselves in a deep hole already. And Chapman, dangerous server. Good pass, though, however, for the Matadors. And that is snaked through for the kill by Eric Beatty.
Beatty having a nice little set for himself here. That's a good swing off the hands.
Beatty in 2020 was named to the AVCA Showcase All-Tournament team. And, well, as you would imagine, at Stanford, very smart student-athlete. He was a 3-time selection to the MPSF All-Academic team. They go in the middle, and that will find his way through. We talked about getting Patrice more involved, and he's able to whip the kill.
A little bit of resurgence and energy off of that kill from the side of the Matadors, but still down by 4 early. Plenty of time to make a little bit of a comeback here, but they definitely have a mountain to climb, Ira.
See if Jacob Vanderbeek is able to help. As he will drop back to serve. Deep line drive. And that's blocked back. First time that it's not put away by Rivera. Chapman! Oh, too much power as it sails all the way back over and long.
This is something that's made me so much a fan of what the Tornadoes have done with their program. Is when they joined the NVA last year as one of the expansion teams, you know, they were really trying to find a way to keep adding more and more weapons. And the more we look at this team that they put out on the court, I feel like it's just continue being more and more well-rounded. And they just have a variety of options as rallies extend of guys that they can reliably set.
Beatty swinging away and finds the real estate.
Sean Smith tried pulling hands there, maybe thinking that Beatty was going for a high hand swing, but in turn just opened up a massive hole in the block.
Beatty's out of Huntington Beach, California, 6'7". He played 4 years at Stanford. He majored in management, science, and engineering. These guys do have day jobs. And that is punished through there. Keep seeing Knoll. I'll tell you what, he might be one of the more interesting additions to any roster this weekend because he didn't come in with the acclaim of like a Brandon Rattray. But Knoll is certainly showing he's someone you need to focus on. He's going to be a dangerous player for this team. As we look at Rivera, who's short. So Gabor will return. And we will see Martin Patrice serving. Pulling the block, Nick Ramos with the winner.
Nice little recharge. I like that early usage of the back row libero for Ramos. I'll be curious to see how they continue problem solving, or if they just opt to let him, just pass through. Maybe give him a chance to just see the game a little bit, get a read on what's going on, and settle in a bit here.
So a 3-point deficit now for the Matadors to work with.
There's the serve from Patrice we were wanting to see earlier.
And one more time, we continue to see Canole just continue to, and you see the big smile he's got right now above his thick beard. But I'll tell you what, I mean, he's a guy coming in.
That was a funny one with no approach whatsoever. Just standing, goes up and takes a big rip.
Mimics the beach game, right?
Yeah,
where you're not able
exactly.
to take a full approach a lot
Right,
of times.
it's a lot of a two-step close.
And it shows how much at the professional level it helps you indoors. I don't think that ever went over.
Nope.
Chapman saying 4 touches, and then somehow the Matadors get a piece of that one. They go back, and another nifty roll shot this time. The Matadors ready for it. 4th chance. Chapman says enough as he bombs it down the line. The question would have been, could they have reviewed whether that was 4 touches?
I don't believe that's a reviewable play. That's a judgment call. I could be mistaken. That's kind of one of those rarer exceptions. I'm not sure.
Do you feel it should be, however, though? As the Matadors are going to call timeout. 13-8 the score.
I didn't hear your question. Sorry, what was that? Should it be reviewable?
Do you believe it should be a reviewable play?
The reason that things on the court like that are sometimes not reviewable is because you cannot guarantee consistency on the coverage of cameras. To count 4 touches, and this is, I could be wrong, but what I believe here is that you've got to use a variety of camera angles to prove that there are touches multiple times. So in terms of proving that there's 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, 4, it could take multiple camera angles, and that's why things like touches back row are not challengeable, because you cannot guarantee that there is going to be a camera angle at all times to prove the touch. As opposed to on the block, you can always challenge a touch because there are nets there are cameras set up on the net. You can challenge back row infractions. You can challenge in or out because every line has a camera angle to add it. So that's why I believe the 4 would not be a challengeable call, but not too sure.
Excellent insights from Nick England as we were back to game action. Sean Smith with the serve, and then Ramos clips the antenna.
A 6-point deficit. That hole getting deeper once again. Matadors unable to find a little bit of magic out of the timeout.
So a 6-point lead now for Dallas. Sean Smith has run an excellent offense for the squad so far. Ramos is blocked back. And then Opurum does a 360 there, but couldn't keep the block in play.
We talked about Jordan Wally being used as a right side in the first set. I would not be upset to see him potentially replace Ramos here as an outside. Wally has plenty of experience passing, and right now that's what's going to be the critical difference of getting the Matadors up and moving.
Ramos has 5 kills in this match, but certainly hasn't been very explosive as Vanderbeek gets involved, puts away his first kill of the afternoon. Well, afternoon if you're on the East Coast. My mind still is.
Yeah. Another quick note, Diego Bustos, number 6, also an option. That's he started and played the entire event once, so there are some other options. I'm curious if the team will look to pull a trigger and change anything up.
That's the second time that the Matadors have had that jump float left well short, and makes the lead 5, 15-10. As we were midway through game number 2, the Matadors had a chance in the first set. The Tornadoes held on late, 25-22. And wow, smart play there by Ramos. That set was very tight to the pin. 2 blockers cutting off any angle, and he was able to just poke it off the hands.
He really fixed that ball for Di Matteo. It was quick and low to the pin. He was able to throw it off the outside hand of the blocker. And just like I just mentioned, here's number 6, Diego Bustos, coming in for Nick Ramos. Now, Nick Ramos cannot return to the match Or, no, he would be able to. I was thinking he had been subbed out, but so he can still return to the match. I had to work through the substitution in my head, and you all got to hear it live, so. He is still eligible. It's a once in, once out rule. Sometimes some of these teams forget, so had to work through that one.
If you enjoyed hearing Nick thinking out loud, you should hear him trying to figure out whether runs are earned or unearned with the Dodgers.
Luckily, I don't care to belabor my time watching sports such as baseball, and I just watch the best with volleyball.
You are a one-sport pony.
I'm a non-baseball sport pony.
Not a baseball fan.
Nah, doesn't do it for me.
Man, I'm going to have to get Nick out to a game one of these days. See if I can change his mind on that one. Get a little variety in his life. Is that his snake through again? I'll tell you what, Eric Beatty.
Yeah.
He's just a smart player, and forget the Stanford aspect. You know, his court IQ is very wise as he's able to go against a big double block and not really allow it to thwart his game.
Yeah, and he's been a shining star, certainly in the serve-receive line. Want to see that continue.
And another error by Rivera this time.
Rivera is so vertical when he's swinging. Smith's really got to push that ball up high. That one looked like it might have been behind him. Rivera might have been in front of him. Rivera saying, hey, that's my bad. So once again, love to see that connection continue to develop.
Primarily it had been Chapman and Roshitz with some problems, but Chapman's starting to heat up again as he sticks that one through. Felix Chapman had 4 attack errors in game number 1. Only got 5 kills on the afternoon, which for him is, well, that's a lackluster effort. For most people, that's a decent day.
Yeah, and he's really shored those up thus far, you know, pretty much immediately, and that was some of my concerns for the side of the Matadors. But now we see Ben Simon coming in as a blocking sub, I believe, number 7, as an opposite. I'd be curious what they were going to do in terms of who would take hands there. Oh, okay, so they're going to complete a 6-2 substitution. So Felix Chapman was being allowed to finish his serving run. So that's going to bring number 11, Andres Quinones, in as the setter, and Ben Simon making his debut number for this season as opposite. So
Quinones sets up Roshitz, but waiting for that one is Bustos. Run down by Quinones, over on one, nearly fell in. Roshitz had to play that, could not tell if it was going to be in or out. Oh, and a bomb from Beatty.
Well, there was certainly some ugly volleyball going on there, but the highlight of that, Eric Beatty ending that one with authority. He's shown to be a little aggravated with the way the state of the game is going, so I love to see him making his presence known there with such a big swing down that high line angle swing.
5th kill for Beatty as Vanderbeek serves, and you see just ducking and covering there for Dallas with Sam Schuldenberg, the libero.
Matadors down by 4 still. They've got to stop the unforced errors. Roshitz has been a consistent jump server thus far. See if his pressure continues. Also noting that we're seeing a different libero stepping in.
On the back row, Vanderbeek that gets blocked back. Beatty with the tip. Running it down is Quinones. And that is 4 touches, they are saying, and the Tornadoes are confused as to where that 4th touch was.
Yeah, quick note, I mentioned a new libero coming onto the court, so you can put 2 different liberos in the off-color jersey and use them interchangeably. So Daniel Calvente taking a seat here for Blake O'Martian. Blake played his time at Concordia, teammates alongside Jordan Hoppy and John Carlson on the Las Vegas Ramblers. So another Concordia Eagle making his debut, and the serving errors continue for the Matadors.
Yeah, Beatty missed that one badly short. One of the few errors that he's committed so far in this morning matchup. Don't forget, this is the first of 4 matches on this Saturday, May 7th. Our 12 p.m. contest will be a family reunion of sorts as the New Jersey Team Freedom take on the Chicago Untouchables. The match of the day will be at 3 o'clock. The 2 unbeatens, the Texas Tyrants and the Las Vegas Ramblers, 3-0 each. Somebody has to go to 4-0. That one we punished through there. First chance we've had a chance to see Ben Simon swing.
Nice highline swing from him. That serve off the tape clipped Ramos. I don't know if there was a little bit of miscommunication between him and Omartian, but not the move the serve receive was looking for.
21-16. As that is left short. So we'll make the change here and hand it off to the Matadors will to Martin Patrice to see if the 6'4" middle is able to try to will his Matadors a little closer. Goes deep. Simon, change of direction. And a miscommunication. Oh, unforgivable for the Matadors. So let that ball drop.
Double sub undone now. Felix Chapman returning alongside Sean Smith. That's going to be all 6 subs on the side of the Dallas Tornadoes. So what you see now on the court is going to be exactly who remains.
And the Matadors, after that terrible miscommunication, are going to discuss this one over, losing this one 22-17 and very much in danger, Nick, of falling behind 2 sets to none in their home building. Obviously, this is their training facility. Not only is it the home for the 2022 NVA season, this is the Matadors' home facility, so they are very familiar with this building, but right now, home court not paying any dividends.
No, it's certainly not. It's really, it's a very, volleyball's a very team-oriented sport, obviously, and there's a lot to be said for not having played with people, but at some point, at this level, I have an expectation that you're going to go out and make a certain level of play, and right now I'm disappointed because I think that the Matadors, as individual players, are playing below what I know that these guys can do. And I know you can see it on their faces. They know they're better than that too, but I want to see them step up, challenge themselves, that as the team continues to develop, that they do a little bit more.
Chapman, O'Perham with a sensational stuff.
There's that block returning. There's just so much presence on the net. Chapman just gets so well over. It's, man, that's a tough one to work with.
Chapman touches so high, cutting off that inside pin. And that is put through a touch by Dallas, so credit the kill to Gabor. But his squad still find themselves deep hole here, 23-18. And the ball will be handed to the center, Di Matteo.
Smith goes backside.
And that was poked back. One-handed dig for Roshitz. And then that's nearly put down the line, but the Matadors were ready for it. Third chance here. They go to O'Perham, and laying out for the dig is Calvente. O'Perham again. Calvente again. And that will clip the antenna, and actually coming underneath, you see the sportsmanship there is Ramos and Canole hug it out. And the antenna is displaced, so they will have to adjust that here on the fly. But 24-18, the Tornadoes have 6 set points to work with. I mean, if you're Eric Beatty, you're 6'7", you can just reach up and adjust it with one hand. There you see the close-up on Peter Canole trying to end game number 2.
High swing
touch. So we
Oh,
will
he
play
got it.
on. The Matadors able to extend this at least one more point. Tornadoes were talking about, do we challenge this? I don't see a need to here when you still have 5 set points to work with. And Ramos, your server. They go to O'Perham. He gets blocked back. This is run down. And Roshitz ends it with the winner. Steven Roshitz gives his squad the 25-19 victory And they lead 2-0 as he puts away yet another kill, his 6th of the match. Well, the Tornadoes firmly in control. We'll see if the Matadors have an answer. We'll come back for game number 3 here at the Pierce Sports Center in just a bit. Back here in San Bernardino, game number 3 between the Dallas Tornadoes and the Inland Empire Matadors, formerly known as the Ontario Matadors, newly renamed this year. And they would like to find themselves a W, at least in one set here in this opening match of the day. But, Nick, they've had some inconsistencies. What have you seen?
You know what, I think the biggest thing here is I'd rather see, instead of trying to run a super fast offense, I want to see, Di Matteo slow the set down a little bit and find a consistency and a connection with his hitters. That's going to be so important here. They don't have any other options on the bench, so he's it. But they've got to get a pin to setter connection.
And Beatty will send this one over. Chance for the Tornadoes to open up with the kill, and they do, as that is put down by Peter Knoll. Looking at the numbers through our first 2 sets today, and well, I'll tell you what, for the Tornadoes, the kills have been spread around. That's been the most impressive part of this offense. 6 kills apiece for Chapman and Roshitz, 5 kills for Knoll, and the middles have even gotten involved. In fact, Rivera has 4 kills himself. So, and a cheeky Purim, 11 attempts, but that's the one thing I would like to see Cheeky be more involved with terminating points. Only 3 kills so far, but as a team, 27 kills for the Tornadoes after 2 games, and the wealth has been shared. 2-0 lead for the Tornadoes. Here's Sean Smith, who is largely responsible for that offense, as he's been steady throughout, as that is put away from the back row. Beatty, as they run the bick with him. So here is Ramos to serve. And I believe the Tornadoes are going to challenge whether Beatty was a back row attacker. Like whether when he committed that violation, was there a 10-foot line violation? And to be honest, from our vantage point, a little difficult to tell. We'll see what the video picks up. So this one goes to video replay. The Tornadoes, this is an early point in the match to try to throw a challenge out, but they firmly believe that there was a violation. And this is different, right? When you're an attacker, and you were talking about this earlier, Nick, where you know your arm, you know your swing, you know the sound that the ball makes when there's even a fingernail on the ball, and that's a lot easier to pick up. And also, you know, if you were the offending player, if you touched it. 10-foot line's not as cut and dry because you can't always know exactly where your toes are.
Yeah, and it's also one of those things, right? This is where over the line versus on the line is interesting because your toes can be, like you might be hovering the line but not touching it. And same thing with like ball, and the ball can be over the line on the court, but it may not compress. But
and the Tornadoes do not win this challenge. Steven Roshitz still pleading his case, saying, hey, I see it right there. But either the video was inconclusive or the Matadors were innocent of all charges.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is the inconclusivity of it all. Just like it's just like the NFL or anything else like that, where you can challenge a play. If it's not irrefutable evidence to overturn the made call, they will not overturn the call. So that's just one of those things you've got to work around with the challenge system.
Well, we know Nick doesn't watch baseball. It's nice to know that he does watch football a little bit, as he's been scouting their replay system.
Sir, I like to watch games where there are multiple people in action at all times.
So you like doubles tennis?
No.
2-2 here in game number 3 as Chapman swings away. That's over on 1. Sean Smith goes back to Chapman, and he plants it.
That was one of the most insane swings, and Eric Beatty's face said it all. He was in sheer awe of that swing, and guys were asking, what, was that out? And he just said, no, that was in. That was just insane. That was a heck of a swing from Chapman.
And you see Eric Beatty's reaction, and I'd have the same reaction. I think most people would. How the heck did he hit that angle? Beatty. He gets stuffed.
Big block there from Oporum and Chapman. Chapman with some stellar back-to-back performances there.
So here's Knoll. Knoll has 5 kills in 2 sets so far, and back-to-back stuffs this time. Chiki Oporum teams up with Roshitz for the big block.
That's one of those skill sets that you see the beach players have so good, is their hand discipline when they're blocking. They really know exactly where their hands are at, because when you're in a one-on-one situation on the beach, you just have to be able to seal the net off very well. And Roshitz, with a very sure hand there, is a great outside blocker to set the block.
So the service error by Knoll will hand it back here to Martin Patrice.
Brett Massetti making his return here, and that means no Ben Gabor this set. Matadors went back to how they started.
That one perfectly placed, but return fire
from Felix Chapman in the middle, if that was what was getting it. Yeah, so this is something they've done before when I go back. Sometimes I don't even catch it, but they will run a lot of swing options where Chapman will come around the middle there. So Oporum was on a backside set, potentially a back 1 or a quick 5, but Chapman stepped in, helped out on that short pass, and then runs a nice 1 option there in the route. Sometimes he'll even do it from the serve receive. We saw that last event, so I love the versatility there.
And there's a double stuff as Chapman and Rivera team up. Third block of the set for the Dallas Tornadoes, and the winds are shifting in their direction. 7-3.
Some aggravation from Beatty getting blocked back-to-back there. Nobody was really covering or ready for that ball to come back. But he's the big offensive option. He's got a big block in front of him. Everyone's got to be ready for that to come back.
Exactly, as finally they're able to get Brett Massetti involved, his first kill of the afternoon. And you're 100% right. You know the blocking game that Dallas has. And if you're not covering, then you're just asking for trouble.
Absolutely the case.
Here's Jacob Vanderbeek. My lost cousin, Thor. As Chapman, hands on that one, Massetti did. And then reach out and stuff someone. Big time, Chapman and Rivera again. And I think that was mostly Rivera.
That was just some really, really well-formed blocking. And Beatty, he was using saying, wow. I mean, sometimes you just got to take a big swing. That was his only real option there. I don't disagree with it. That's 3 in a row. He's in a tough spot there. Chapman bailing the Matadors out, though, with a bit of a missed serve.
How much of that is Beatty swinging into the block, and how much of that is the setter DiMatteo not giving him balls good enough to hit with?
That one I think was just more of where the pass located him. He was easily identifiable as the option. It's going to be a well-formed block in front of you, and I just think that's a tough spot based on first contact.
Smith lays out to save that one.
Nice.
And there's a return. DiMatteo reaching up. Massetti was there as well, but it was mostly the setter getting his hands up to stuff it down.
Yeah, and that's kind of the same thing I was just talking about. Steve Smith, in order to get a touch on that, he has one option, lays out and gets that ball up in the air. That means DiMatteo is going to get everything he wants from a blocking move and kind of returns the exact same situation now for the Matadors.
Credit to Sean Smith, by the way, because he made something out of nothing there.
Yep.
And that roll, oh, sneaky, sneaky, Felix Chapman.
Really like the adjustments that Chapman has made on some of the out-of-system swings, which he might have just kind of going for a pure power approach in the first set. That's where he was generating a lot of his errors. Now he's going to some of those more voracious swings that he's got, doing a different, some chisels, some chips, and it's working out very well for him. Nice pass by Beatty.
I don't know how he got that one up, but then missed long by Ramos. Beatty laying out and making a tremendous reception, but ultimately it doesn't matter. His team down 4.
That was a heck of a layout, one-handed pass there.
It's been hard to wipe the smile off his face. Even in a losing effort, he's having fun out there with Beatty. And that is the 5th block of the set. This time it's Rivera teaming up with Canole.
Man, the Dallas Tornado block is an absolute problem. Mentioned this as an option here in set 2. Jordan Wally making an appearance on the outside to replace Nick Ramos
will come out here. And this will be Steven Roshitz to serve. Tornadoes leading by 5. Same number of blocks they've had already here in game number 3. Vanderbeek with the poke, and he's able to cover his own play. Here's Woolley. And Chapman able to run it down and return fire by Massetti, but no. Tornadoes were there until ultimately the rare double is called. Sean Smith, who has been basically perfect, and this match finally makes an error. So we'll have a substitution. Coming in for Massetti to serve here is Eric Valise. Listed at 5'5" as a libero. And that will find its way to the court. Rivera with a good spot. Has the 5th kill for Rivera. 12-7 is your score. And he'll go back to serve. That pass over on one, and Operum makes him pay. Eric Beatty with The errant pass. And Operum. That's a meatball, ready to be devoured. Here's Rivera to serve. Too long. So here is Nick DiMatteo. He will serve here with his squad down by 5. Nick England will rejoin me in a moment. And when he comes back, he'll regret missing that blast from Chapman, who's now in double figures with 10 kills. So here's Smith now. 6-point lead at 14-8. The Tornadoes trying to win this in 3. Big time swing from Beatty, but the better dig by Schuldenberg. And that one, Vanderbeek's gonna have to send deep to try to preserve. Third chance here for Dallas. And that one cannot be saved as Peter Canole with the kill. Credit here to Wally for laying out. And he and DiMatteo nearly had a piece of that one, but they dive into our team banners. In fact, even push back our scores table just a bit. 15-8. Next point for Dallas will take us to a timeout. And they roll right into the Smiths' waiting hands. Canole. And he leaves it short. Side out for the Matadors. So no block on that one, just an error on Canole. And here is Jordan Wally. And down the line, Canole actually tucked it a little further into the court than we initially thought, but Canole with another kill. And the Tornadoes with a decisive 16-9 lead as we head to a technical timeout. Game 3. Come back for more. The Tornadoes up by 2. And we're back here courtside again, a 2-0 lead for the Tornadoes, trying to end this one in perhaps under an hour and a half, as they have a convincing lead, and they will hand the ball to Javier Guerrero to serve. That one will clip one of the light fixtures. It actually helps out the Matadors as Vanderbeek gets a swing. That is way outside the antenna, and how in the world did Steven Roshitz keep that in play? This time, Vanderbeek flexes as he's able to roll that into a youthful spot. But man, oh man, if we had replay, Steven Roshitz was basically standing where the R2 would be and somehow was able to tuck that around the antenna and extend the play. Just tremendous individual effort. As they will wipe up the morning dew from the court. Here's Martin Patrice. They go to Chapman, and he slugs it through his 11th kill. Beatty and Massetti is no match for the power of Felix Chapman. So here is O'Perham. Cheeky O'Perham out of Plano, Texas. Vanderbeek, and that clips the antenna. However, it was off of the block, they're saying. And they did get that call correct. I think the Tornadoes, however, want to challenge this. Was it Vanderbeek off the antenna, or was it off the block? Or are they going to play on? And they're going to let this play on. They choose not to challenge it. And this will be Vanderbeek serving, his team trailing by 6. And Nick England has rejoined us from, after he took some time off to enjoy a phone call with the missus.
Yeah, sometimes, you got to take that important one, but we are back here for another important call as Eric Beatty able to battle that off. Nice to see him continuing to swing and not phased at all by the amount of pressure that we've seen from the Dallas Tornadoes block.
He's been the one player, even with the attackers, that has shown the most promise for this Matador squad. And I think it's going to be important for them the rest of the season if they're going to have any kind of success. Again, this is only their 3rd match of the year. They didn't play yesterday. There's 10 regular season contests for the playoffs. And Brett Massetti misfires. First weekend of August, 8 teams will be in the postseason. We have a lot of volleyball to play between now and then. Of course, our next event after this weekend, this is Mother's Day weekend. We'll be back here Memorial Day weekend at the end of the month. 4th event of the year will be Father's Day weekend. And then we will conclude the regular season the 2nd weekend of July. So substitution here into the match for the Tornadoes is Ben Simon.
Which means that we're going to see Quinones come in and replace Chapman after the serving run is my guess. And in proper fashion, here he comes, number 11 subbing in for Chapman. It's that 6'2" sub, but definitely relying on, giving Chapman a chance on the back line before subbing in Quinones. So
when he knows these rotations better than my partner, Nick England. Here's Beatty. Down the line, nearly gets the ace. Somehow, Schulderberg saves it off the ceiling. And Massetti able to save this. Hole back of the court is open, but the Tornadoes couldn't capitalize. This one, is it wrapped around the antenna? It is not. And the Tornadoes, the Matadors were just flustered that entire play.
A lot of hustle there, a lot of collision. Beatty and Vanderbeek collided there. Vanderbeek limping a bit. We'll see what the options are if he's unable to continue.
And there is a challenge here for the Matadors.
A challenge. I think he said, do you have a towel? I don't think they challenged the call on anything. Oh, they are challenging the antenna. Apologies.
Would I lie to you?
No, but my hearing is suspect at times.
You're a young man.
Yeah, well.
Fun fact, Nick England and I both started playing volleyball the same year.
So you're going to take that stance on this one?
1992.
The year I was born?
Yep, the year you were born. You were born with a ball in your hands, and I had to have one placed there.
Yeah, screaming, Mikasa. Can't wait to play with one of these. The proud ball sponsor, the NVA.
Fun fact, Nick's first words, Mikasa.
Yeah.
His final words may be challenged, though.
I like that we're just making up my history on the fly here.
And it goes over the Dallas after all, so the Matadors do not win the challenge. And still not entirely sure what was being reviewed. We don't have the replay monitor in front of us. It's on the far side of the table. But either way, the Tornadoes with the side out. And that is a solo stuff. Angel Rivera.
Massetti trying to get involved, but not able to. Rivera has definitely been the boon in the middle that this Tornadoes team needs. He does a great job alongside Opurum, getting pin to pin, closing it up, and it's really helped the look of this team.
They go back to Vanderbeek this time, dug up by Roshitz. And that is finished off by Ben Simon swinging out of the right side.
Yeah, I like the look we've seen from Ben Simon coming in as a second opposite to give him this little 6-2 rotation. A lot more teams have been using this. Originally seen most in 2020 by the Ontario Matadors using Vanderbeek and Jair Santiago. Last season it was seen almost exclusively by the Texas Tyrants.
And an ace for Roshitz. So a 22-13 advantage. The Tornadoes, they have pulled away, and almost an exclamation mark here in game 3. Vanderbeek try to get his team any kind of action late, but it's looking to be a little too late here for the Matadors as Roshitz puts away yet another kill. Roshitz 2 away from the win. Leaves that one short. So here's Brett Massetti, who played his collegiate volleyball at Hope International, started his career at Long Beach City College. And Simon sticks it through. And that will give the Tornadoes 10 match points, up 24-14. And here's Rivera to serve for the win to try to improve the Tornadoes to 2-1 on the year. Not a great toss, and you saw the outcome, as that was a bit of a lazy toss too far into the court. And he's getting coached as he comes out of the match for what is likely the final time today. He certainly had a huge impact in this one, Nick. Simon to try to end it, and he does as he tools the block. And the Dallas Tornadoes improve to 2-1 on the year. A convincing win here in our third set, 25-15. And they win the match 3-0. 25-22, 25-19, and 25-15. The Matadors, they fall to 0-3 on the year. We'll take a look at our final numbers from this one and a convincing win before Matt Prosser will have a conversation with our man of the match, who I think we have to give it to Steven Roshitz. Just an all-around great effort. Not only was he involved in the attack game, where Roshitz finished with 7 kills and 2 aces, and he also, well, he had a reception percentage today at close to 90%, which is staggering numbers, Nick.
Yeah, that's really an impressive. I mean, we always talk about kind of those magical numbers, so we always try to help the fans understand what we want to see. When you see right around that 80 to 90%, that's when liberos, the best passer on the court, is playing at their very best. So when you see an outside hitter taking double-digit receptions with a 90%, I mean, that right there speaks to why Angel Rivera is putting up 7 points. Chike Opurum putting up 4 or 5 points offensively.
100%.
That's because guys like Steve Roshitz are feeding the beast, getting Steve Smith the rock so that he can dish, and it's just a fantastic contribution from number 6.
Yeah, Sean Smith had a great effort today
Sean Smith.
at setter, and a lot of that, just as you led to, was because of the consistency of that reception game. And for somebody like a Roshitz to come in, probably hasn't had a ton of practices with the team, quite frankly, and to be able to play at this high of a level, clearly should be our man of the match. And Matt Prosser is on the sideline. He will have a conversation with Steven Roshitz, and I think they are just getting set there on the sideline. Just looking over to see if Matt, can't miss Matt. He's 6'7".
He's a big guy, but got to make sure he's ready, and I think that he's looking like he's ready to go.
We'll send it over to Matt and with our man of the match, Steven Roshitz.
All right, thank you very much, guys. Here I am with the man of the match, Dallas Tornadoes outside hitter Steven Roshitz. Congratulations, Steven.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. It's good to be here finally being here.
Well, it's nice to see you back. A good performance from your team, an early morning match here. Another match tomorrow. What were some of the key takeaways for you guys today from this match?
Set one, we had like 7, 8 hitting errors, and we sort of addressed that early, and I was like, listen, we have the service pressure and we have the offensive pieces. If we keep it cleaner on our side, we're going to be able to cruise through. So we really focused on that. I think we went from 8 to 2 and 3 hitting errors, and our service pressure picked up, and those two things, plus the good ball control and service receive, makes it pretty easy to get it done.
So a couple of new faces on your squad today and a couple of returners. So can you touch on a couple of newer guys for us?
Newer guys, Libero. So y'all saw him in matches 1 and 2. That's Sam. Super good ball control, very active, all over the place. We leave him every single seam and every free ball. So it really helps coming from last year. Now we have this Libero that is just he wants everything, okay? Sean Smith, returner. He's now setting full time for the most part. Runs a very clean offense, and he has some big units. Peter Knoll, my sand partner. Big dude with the man bun. You can't miss him. This is the first time he's played an indoor tournament since he was 12.
Right.
So this is 1 through 20. 12. Yeah.
12.
Yes, 12 years old. So he's 30 now, so it's been 18 years since he played indoor. It works out well. Returner here, you guys know Felix. And then obviously myself coming in, and everybody else you guys saw last year as well. But getting Pete into that mix and Sam really helped the ball control, really steadied out. I think we had maybe 2 or 3 stray balls today for serve receive, and that's tough to deal with, as you know, for indoor.
Awesome. So going into tomorrow's match, what's the key for you guys to hopefully repeat and go undefeated in event number 2?
Watching them and see. I know they got a big old right side, so we had basically had an outside to deal with today, and now I know we're going to have a lot of right side to deal with. So making sure I'm not floating around on the block. Pete's big up there. I'm going to be the question mark if we get lined up. Making sure I can control the seam and not get used or hit around is going to be huge. And then getting we had probably 4 out of 6 serves rolling. If we can get the other 2 rolling, our middle, and Felix ripping that jump serve, if we can get maybe half of those in that were out today, I think we're going to put a ton of pressure.
Stuff. Well, congratulations and good luck tomorrow. Man of the match, MVP Steven Roshitz from the Dallas Tornadoes. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Matt, and wow, that was some tremendous insight from Steven Roshitz. Not only did he have probably the best all-around match of anybody on the court, which is why he is our man of the match, he just became the 3rd member of our commentating crew with that incredible insight and just talking about, Knoll and his return to the court, and quite frankly, he made it look pretty seamless, but the familiarity, I think is the best way to say it, that these guys have with each other. I don't know if Dallas has the talent that the Tyrants or the Ramblers or some of those teams have, but they're going to be a factor this year.
Yeah, I love that they're only in their 2nd season, and just from event 1, 2021, to even event 2 and 3, every single event, they are not accepting the way that they're playing as okay. They're like, no, being good, being okay, it's not enough. They're always driving, who can we get next? What's the talent? How do we train? How do we increase our level? And they're always pushing that ceiling higher and higher. So I love to see how much this team has approached their entry into the NVA as a challenge. and they're not accepting anything less than playoffs this year. They want to continue pushing that higher and higher. And guys like Roshitz, Chapman, the contributions in the middle from Oporum, Rivera, it's really, they're showing us something. Sam Schultenberg in the back row, he's had some phenomenal defensive plays.
I don't think there's a question in anybody's mind that they are going to be a playoff team if
Yep.
they continue to play like this, and they may have the biggest upside of any team in the NVA.
Yeah,
so
I
it'll be
agree.
very interesting to watch them as this season continues to unfold. So let's turn our attention to the rest of today's action, and that will begin at 12 p.m. Pacific time when we have a family reunion of sorts, when it's the Chicago Untouchables 0-2 on the year taking on New Jersey Freedom 2-0. Then 3 p.m., our marquee matchup on this Saturday afternoon, it'll be the Ramblers. They're 3-0. The Tyrants, they're 3-0. Who will win 4-0 first in the NVA? And then we close the day with another match. The records are a little misleading right now, but we have the Utah Stingers 2-1 against Matt Prosser's OC Stunners, coming off a 3-1 loss yesterday to the Tyrants. So that sets you up for the remainder of today's action. Our final score here today in our opening contest on day 2 of our second weekend of the season. Dallas Tornadoes, they're 2-1 on the year as they convincingly knock off the Inland Empire Matadors 3-0. For my partner Nick England and Matt Prosser on the sideline, I'm Ira Thor. Thanks for watching this one. Be back with us 12 p.m. Pacific, Freedom and the Untouchables.